Hi, everybody. Welcome to the episode of Band Together Leadership Seminar. My name is Paul Everett. I'm your host. You want to reach me? Please contact me via email, BAND, 2, bandtogether at Comcast.net. Also, go visit our website, which is conductingmylife.com. Conductingmylife.com. Go to the curriculum tab. You'll see I'm part of the John Maxwell team. I'm certificated to be a speaker, trainer, and coach using John Maxwell material. I also supplement other materials. But I would love to give private lessons about leadership, about being a better person. I can also do both secular and sacred. I can go to church groups and work with you there too. So give us a call. We go middle school until 105. So love to work with you. And one of the reasons I like to work with you is because when you get better, I get better. And what we need is better people. Better people make better leaders. So we are starting our journey through this wonderful older book by Dr. Maxwell, Breakthrough Parenting. And we're just at the introduction stage, and we're doing barriers to breakthrough. So most children aren't enjoying breakthroughs, however, because their parents have not yet experienced their own breakthrough in the way they approach parenting. There are barriers to that breakthrough, but they can be overcome. So here are the 5 most common. You ready? Number 1, instead of trying to create breakthroughs, we react according to old patterns. Most of us raise our kids in a very similar way to the way our parents raised us. Isn't that true? I will say, though, on a personal note, I love my mom and my dad, but they were both cursed with alcoholism. So I did take some things from mom and dad, definitely, because those were my first coaches. And then I started watching other parents. Just a reminder, I'm a high school band director and music teacher. I did orchestra and jazz band too, and choir. So, but I would also watch other parents and go, my gosh, your kids are great. How are you doing this? What are you doing? And I would get coached. I would get a lot of help. So look at that. Number 2, we do not try something innovative or creative because it goes against conventional thinking. We all begin the parenting process with little experience, so we learn as we go. Usually new patterns look to trusted friends and family members for advice, as I just said. They get an idea of what most people do and then do something similar. But that approach does not always produce the best results. At times, another person's methods won't work for you, or the best course of action may be to go against conventional wisdom. So, number 3, we're limited by the belief that our children will not respond positively. Being a parent is wonderful, but it can also cause a person to get into a rut. A mother who has told her toddler not to play with the food a dozen times in the last 10 minutes, and whose child is still playing with his peas, may believe at that moment that her child will never listen to her, and she may not even want to attempt a breakthrough. But sometimes a great opportunity comes at just such a moment. Number 4, we desire perfection. Many times when we teach our children, we unrealistically expect them to respond perfectly to our instruction. We show them how to wash the car, and we expect them to wash the car right every time thereafter. We show them, other things like doing the dishes once, and then we expect them to get it right. So we desire perfection. Constantly pointing out to our children what they're doing wrong will discourage our children from trying, and that discouragement will become an obstacle. Now, just think about that. When you get discouraged, first of all, the obstacle's already there, right? The obstacle of knowing how to do dishes or wash your car, that's an obstacle in itself. Then you and I, as parents, we can compound that obstacle by not being a positive influence and teaching them and saying, you know what, it's okay if it's not perfect. All right, we're going to get there. Number 5, when we try a breakthrough idea and do not see immediate results, we want to give up. Even if our children respond positively to our efforts, we may have to wait a long time before we see results. That can be discouraging, but creating breakthroughs in a child's life is a lengthy process. It's like growing a giant redwood. Even when a young plant breaks through the surface of the soil, it has just begun the growing process. So again, we have to be patient with our children, don't we? And then here, when can we experience a breakthrough? So after getting all this work going with our children, when can we experience a breakthrough? There are 3 conditions for children as well as the parents. There are 3 conditions that make a person ready for a breakthrough. You ready? Number 1, we feel the heat. Whenever a person is feeling the heat, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, it creates a climate for growth. Pain prompts change. That's so awesome. So the good news is that if you are having a hard time with one of your children, you are a candidate for a breakthrough. It's like the Chinese symbol for the word crisis. It means danger, but it also means opportunity. There's a possibility hidden in every problem. When can we experience a breakthrough? When we see the light. People are also prepared to make a breakthrough when they can see positive possibilities in the light of change. And then another one. When can we see a breakthrough? When we receive strength. Finally, people become capable of breakthrough when they receive enough strength to make one. The strengthening can come from a number of things. 1, permission. I see people all the time who seem to be waiting for permission to be successful. They hang back, waiting for a promotion. How about freedom? When we receive strength, that strengthening can come from a number of things, including freedom. A friend of Dr. Maxwell's, Fred Rose, a psychiatrist whose specialty is children and adolescents. According to the standards in our society, Fred Rose, an expert in raising children. But Fred is also a father of 3 small boys, and he once told Dr. Maxwell, there are no experts when it comes to parenting. And the people who tell you they are experts are not telling you the truth. How about self-confidence? In A Whack on the Side of the Head, and I've gotten that book, it's a good book, Roger Van Oak made an insightful comment about breakthroughs that relates to confidence. He said, almost every advance in art, cooking, medicine, agriculture, engineering, marketing, politics, education, and design has occurred when someone challenged the rules and tried another approach. How about a sense of humor? It's impossible to overestimate the importance of a sense of humor when it comes to being a parent. But if you have children, you probably already knew that. Someone once said, God gave us imagination to make up for what we are not, and a sense of humor to console us for what we are. How about God's assistance? I know that for some of you, when you hear the word God, it freaks you out. But let's just take a look at this in a God context. Finally, the ultimate strengthening a person can receive is assistance from God. Scripture tells us that without God, we can do nothing, but with God, all things are possible. So you probably agree that it is important for God to be involved if a life-changing breakthrough is to occur. And then it goes on from there. All right, come next week, man. Here we are, Breakthrough Parenting, going through it. Go get the book. I'm not reading word for word because I want you to get the book. And also, look to hire me. We have exercises we can do with this book, and we have other John Maxwell material to help parents and families thrive. Begin with the end in mind. Every choice you make is who you are. So choose wisely, seek first to understand, and then finally, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's why you and I are doing this. See you next week. Bye.